I'm back again with Act 4 Scene 1, the next part. So in my last video, we discussed basically the conversation of Shylock Portia, where Shylock is happy. We have seen Shylock is happy because Portia says that this bond is lawful and Court of Venice cannot cancel it. There is no rule to cancel. So even Shylock compares this Portia with Daniel, what I said, that a great Jewish character, that his wisdom is compared with this Portia's wisdom. So but Portia, what we have seen, Portia is trying to convince Shylock to be merciful, to show mercy. And then Portia says that you take thrice of the money and just let me cancel the bond. So last line what I discussed, that was take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond. So Portia says that you take the money, thrice of the money, and just let me let me cancel the bond. So what was Shylock's reply? You see, when it is paid according to the tenure, when it is paid according to the tenure, that means Shylock says that you may tear the bond after the penalty which is specified in the bond that has been paid to me. You cancel it, but before that let me get the penalty. So, and then he says, it doth appear you are a worthy judge, you know the law, your exposition hath been most sound, I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar, proceed to judgment. Then what he says? He says that seeing you, it seems that you are an able judge, and you know the law very well, and your interpretation of this particular case is very correct. The way you have interpreted the case, you understood the case, that is very correct. And now it is that you proceed with the case and you just give the judgment. You proceed with the case and deliver the judgment, give the judgment. And then he says, you see what line? He says that what is written, you see, by my soul I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond. So he says that I swear that there is no power in the world. No man is there in the world who can change me from taking this penalty, who can change my word, who can change the oath what I have taken. No one can change. Then Antonio, most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment. Antonio, from a long time we can see that Antonio, now he has left all hope. He knows that he is going to die, and he is ready to die for his friend. So according to him, why to request Shylock, why to ask for mercy? So he says, you must know, most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment. So Antonio says, I appeal to the court, please deliver the judgment. Then Portia, why? Then thus it is. Then Portia, well, then in that case, I do proceed. Portia says, you must prepare your bosom for his knife. This line Portia is telling to Antonio. Portia is indicating Antonio. What he says, you must prepare your bosom. That means you must be prepared with your dress, with your body, with your just opening your front part, that chest, and just ready for this Jew's knife. Then Shylock, oh noble judge, oh excellent young man. Shylock is very happy. Oh, you are an excellent young man. And Portia, for the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which are appreth due upon the bond. So what Portia says, that the penalty which has come according to the terms of the bond is permissible. That means you are getting permission and is fully accord with the intention and purpose of the law. That means it is going with the law and it is permissible. You have got permission to go with the penalty. Then Shylock, It's very true. O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy looks. So he say, actually, Portia is in disguise, that we know, and earlier in previous scene also, and we have seen that in Act 3, scene, last scene, we have seen that Portia is presenting himself a very young boy, and when that Bellario wrote the letter, there also it was written he was quite young. So he says that the way you look and the way you show your intelligence, it doesn't match. You are so intelligent person. Then Portia, therefore lay bare your bosom. Portia is telling to Antonio that you just uncover your chest. Then Shylock, yes, Shylock, his breast, so says the bond. Doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart, those are the very word. So then Shylock is so excited, very excited. Final moment has come. He is going to take revenge now. So he says, yes, he has to uncover his chest. That is what the bond says, according to the bond. And he says, you are a noble judge, you see, and I am going to cut off the flesh from the nearest part of his heart. And this is only written in the bond. Then Portia, it is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh? So do you have any machine, balance machine or anything to weigh? Shylock, I have them ready. Means I am ready with everything. Portia, have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wound, lest he do bleed to death. Then Portia says that arrange for a surgeon, Shylock, then that expenditure you bear, so that that surgeon can stop his wound and prevent him from bleeding to death, so that he would not die. Then Shylock, is it so nominated in the bond? Is it written? Is it there in the bond? Portia, it is not so expressed, but what of that? It were good you do so much for charity. So Portia is telling, at least little bit kindness, little bit sympathy you show, and you do this. It's not there mentioned. But Shylock doesn't bother because he wants Antonio to die. So what he says, I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. So Shylock says, no, I am not going to do that because it is not there in the bond. Portia, come, merchant, have you anything to say? Portia says, then Antonio, you please come, and do you want to say anything? Then Antonio, there is a speech, long speech of Antonio that we will discuss in the next video.